What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with another video. The wait is over and it's time for NXT Takeover in your house. Join us now as Wrestlelamia recaps the show and looks at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. The first match of the night was the 6-women tag match between Mia Yim, Shotzi Blackheart, and Tegan Nox versus Candice LeRae, Dakota Kai, and Raquel Gonzalez. Raquel Gonzalez helps her heel allies dominate the match, but a miscue by Dakota Kai gives her opponents the chance to regroup. Tegan lands the shiniest wizard on Kai, getting the 1-2-3 and the win for Team Yim. The next match of the night was between Damian Priest and Finn Balor. Balor attacks Priest before the bell, but the big man quickly recovers, beating down Balor throughout the match. However, an attempted Razor's Edge on the steel steps backfires as Balor escapes and Priest bounces back first off the steel steps. That looked absolutely nasty, by the way. It looked like the edge of the steel steps caught Priest's lower back. Coup de grace, and it's all over for Priest, as Finn Balor emerges the winner. After that, it's the North American Championship match between Keith Lee and Johnny Gargano. The story of this match is that Keith Lee is entering the match with an injured left hand and scratched cornea, which Gargano targets throughout the match. Gargano is only able to keep up with Lee by targeting his weak spots. Lee punts Gargano through the plexiglass wall at ringside. Candice LeRae comes out, but Mia Yim surprises and the two brawl. Johnny Gargano almost beats Lee when he uses a key to gouge out Lee's eyes, the same key that locked the front door of the awesome In Your House stage. How do wrestlers keep stuff in their pants for that long? Anyway, however, Lee's resilience proves supreme as he spirit bombs Gargano twice, followed by the Big Bang catastrophe. Keith Lee retains the North American Championship. The next match is the Backlot Brawl for the NXT Championship, as Adam Cole takes on Velveteen Dream. The referee makes the rules clear, anything goes, and the match ends in the ring. A group of cars surround the ring. Velveteen brings a bat to the match, but Cole tells him to fight like a man. The two brawl over, but Bobby Fish and Roderick Strong from the Undisputed Era pull up to lend an assist. Dexter Lumis appears out of nowhere, helping the Dream even the odds, beating down Fish and Strong, then stuffing them into a trunk of a car before driving off with them. Dream seems to have the match his way after hitting the Purple Rainmaker, but a low blow followed by a Panama Dream on a pile of chairs ends Velveteen's aspirations. Unfortunately, per the match's stipulations, Velveteen Dream can no longer compete for the NXT Championship as long as Adam Cole is champion. But the final result sees Adam Cole retain the NXT Championship. After that, it's a match between TOMMASO Ciampa and Karrion Kross, who's with Scarlett. Ciampa is looking for revenge on Kross, but Kross proves too dominant, toying with Ciampa as he delivers strike after strike, suplexes, and much more. Ciampa tries a comeback, but he just can't get enough offense. Kross counters escapes the fairy tale ending from Tommaso and locks in the Kross jacket as Tommaso passes out. Your winner is Karrion Kross, as the referee had to stop the match. What a win! And it's now time for the main event, as it's a triple threat match for the NXT Women's Championship between Rhea Ripley, Io Shirai, and champion Charlotte Flair. The Queen's experience gives her an edge, but both Ripley and Shirai are determined to dethrone her. Things look bleak when Charlotte grabs the kendo stick and beats down Rhea Ripley and Shirai. Flair locks Ripley in the figure 4, then goes for the figure 8. However, Shirai is back and she lands the moonsault on Ripley, covering her for the win. The Queen has been dethroned, and we now have a new NXT Women's Champion. Did we also mention that Shirai jumped off the In Your House stage? Damn! But that was a quick recap of all the matches of the night. Let's now move on to the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good, as number 1, the set. The WWE did a fantastic job recreating the In Your House sets from the 90s, almost making fans do a double take to wonder if they'd tuned into WWE's archives. No, things were just done that well. The WWE should consider fixing up the Performance Center pay-per-views with similar accoutrements, as the In Your House set distracted from the small number of fans. Number 2, a vocal audience. Even when the WWE was able to run shows with fans, the audience could be downright quiet, sitting on their hands throughout some exciting shows and making the viewers at home wonder whether the fans had taken a few Xanax tablets before the event. Either that or, in some cases in Corpus Christi, a horse tranquilizer. The fans present for tonight's show did a great job cheering and booing, as did the WWE camera crew, which hid the fact that the show wasn't being held in a large arena. It seems that the WWE is finally starting to find a way of airing shows in small venues without making things look too low rent. Number 3. In Your House Easter Eggs. Relaunching In Your House was a great way to show fans that the WWE recognizes the current pandemic may be keeping fans at home, but that doesn't mean the WWE Universe can't have fun. Not only did NXT Takeover adopt the vintage In Your House title, but it included a number of Easter eggs, including former WWF interviewer Todd Pettengill making an appearance. And let me tell you, he didn't skip a beat. In an odd way, it was really weird to see him talk about Facebook and Twitter. This is the guy that we used to watch in 1995. But anyway, for a full list of In Your House Easter eggs, be sure to check out a video detailing the best. That's coming up shortly after this one. Number 4. A strong opener. The Black and Gold brand started things off strong with a fast-paced 6-women tag match that proved why NXT's women's division is fire. All 6 women are fantastic, but the WWE needs to keep a close eye on Raquel Gonzalez, who has the it factor and size that could make her a future main eventer. Number 5. Keith Lee's BLM trunks. Now, we noted how a variety of wrestlers have used their star power to speak out against racial injustice. Tonight, Keith Lee wore trunks emblazoned with Black Lives Matter, a subtle yet strong message for the fans watching at home. Number 6. A fantastic big man. Now, whilst we're on the subject of Keith Lee, he is nothing short of outstanding. He has size, agility and charisma, and at 35, he should be on the fast track to the main roster. His match with Johnny Gargano was well booked, with the story of Gargano targeting Lee's injured eye and hand, but Lee's power just being too much. The spot where he curled Gargano with one arm like a dumbbell was funny and impressive, as was the spot when Lee pounced Gargano through the plexiglass. Number 7. Priest vs. BALOR. One of the worst pieces of wrestling hyperbole is they're putting on a clinic, a hackneyed phrase that rarely applies. Tonight's match between Damian Priest and Finn Balor was nothing short of a wrestling clinic, as both men combined technical wrestling with strong style wrestling, making it the second best match of the night. Number 8. Stars will rise, stars will fall. The WWE did a good job building some new stars, with Karrion and Kross seemingly on the fast track to the top. That wasn't the only instance of the WWE putting over younger talent or wrestlers who are fairly new to NXT. Io Shirai's title win was well deserved and frankly the right move at this point. Of course, for a star to rise, another must fall, at least on the night of the match. Charlotte Flair, TOMMASO Ciampa and Johnny Gargano put over their opponents, and in Ciampa's case, he was extremely generous with his opponent, basically letting Karrion and Kross squash him. Number 9. An all-women's show. NXT's women's division is second to none, and that includes the Raw and SmackDown roster. If the WWE ever thinks of running an all-female show, it should have it feature the stars of NXT as they excel. Recently, Rhea Ripley suggested that WWE needs another women's title, and after watching tonight's matches, we think she's spot on. Number 10. Stealing the show. There were so many fantastic matches at TakeOver that it's hard to pin one down. Well, that was the case until the triple threat main event where Charlotte Flair, Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley stole the show. All 3 women are superstars, and what's even more incredible is that all 3 superstars, particularly Ripley, are relatively young. Barring injury, there's no limit to what all 3 will do. One thing is clear, they're ready to do this to lead the women's division to new heights. Now that was good. What about the bad? As number 1, the Backlot Brawl. The Backlot Brawl was bad for a number of reasons, beginning with the fact it served no purpose in terms of storyline. While the argument can be made the WWE was hoping to get the rub from the buzz over its recent cinematic matches, this one was a reminder that slapping cinematic match on a bout doesn't automatically make it a classic. It wasn't exactly a dud, but there wasn't really that much special about it. It seemed like a glorified parking lot brawl, but on top of that it was shot poorly with fast cuts that dizzied the viewer but did nothing to the story. Even worse, the match was difficult to follow as it was poorly lit. If the match was shot live, the lighting problem may have been excusable, but it wasn't. It was recorded about a week before. Add in Adam Cole getting the win yet again when it was time for Velveteen Dream to win the NXT Championship, and you have a match that was a bit of a letdown. And number 2, losing momentum. As we mentioned earlier, wrestlers have to lose in order to put others over, but this needs to be handled well or it can kill a wrestler's momentum. While it's too early to tell at all at this point, these losers could be problematic depending on what happens next with each wrestler. Tommaso Ciampa's squash loss to Karrion Kross made Kross look great, but the loss coupled with Ciampa's loss in his feud with Johnny Gargano means he needs to get his momentum back. Likewise with Velveteen Dream, who really has nowhere to go but up to the main roster at this point. Unfortunately, it's unclear how well he'll do once Vince McMahon gets his hands on him. Charlotte Flair's loss won't hurt her, and it's probably for the best that she leaves NXT now that her title reign was best used as a short-term means of highlighting Rhea Ripley and Io Shirai's skills. However, what about Ripley? Her short reign as NXT Women's Champion didn't do much for her career, and it's unlikely she'll do well on the main roster right now. At age 23, Ripley has so much ahead of her, but it would be bad booking to knock her down the ladder given her success so far. But there was no downright ugly of tonight's show. In fact, NXT Takeover in Your House was a strong show, with the backlot brawl being the only downside to the show. And when we say downside, it's really not the worst downside. It's not like it was Undertaker vs Goldberg or anything. The WWE let the wrestling sell the show and everyone over-delivered, putting on crisp performances that showed many of the black and gold brand superstars are more than ready for the main roster. That being said, many of them would probably get lost in the Vinnie-Mac shuffle, so it's understandable why so many fans are happy they stayed on NXT. But there you have it guys, our in-depth analysis of NXT Takeover in Your House, looking at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. Did you guys watch the show, and if so, did you agree with our review? Let us know in the comments down below, subscribe if you haven't already, follow us on Instagram and Twitter, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.